아프리카 TV 브레이크업 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 코드 S 쇼다운.
Over. I hear you, Rainer. We're going to go into the second best of 3. I said best of 5, sorry. That was from yesterday. ASL was best of 5.
Do you even know what tournament we're casting right now?
I have no idea.
Where are you? What day is it?
I haven't casted Age of Empires in a while, okay? I'm sorry, I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready to go. Scarlett versus INnoVation. This is going to be so cool.
I tell you. This is exciting. I mean, obviously, these two are both macro... I was going to say macro beasts, but I say that too much. They're macro fiends.
They're macro machines.
Macro machines.
Yeah.
But INnoVation seems to be in really top form lately, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely leaning towards him, but of course Scarlett has the potential to take down anybody.
Scarlett's really good.
And she brought
She's
her
a
bodyguard today, too.
You're talking about no raggards?
No Rugrats.
No Rugrats? Yep.
Yeah. So that
I love that we all have our IDs and we have nicknames for the IDs. Like you're Artie and I'm Tassels and he's No Raggards.
Yeah.
No Rugrats. What's Scarlett? Is it Scrizzles or?
I would say Scar. Probably.
Scar.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess we decided to have dubstep today for GSL.
Yeah, may as well. It's a party here today, Tasteless.
That's right.
I feel like I'm at the club. Is this club music?
This is these are some filthy club beats.
Filthy?
If this plays in a club, you need to go to another club.
Why?
When's the last?
Why?
When is the last time, by the way, we have ever been in a club together? Because, like, ever. Is it some event we did overseas?
It would be some event, yeah, like an after party, like
we're like,
Twitch
oh, no.
after party or something like that. Yeah.
Where it's just really loud music, and I'm like,
I literally can't.
I'm like, let's go to my hotel room with 3 other cool people and just hang out there.
And I try to come. You're like, no. I said 3
I
other
said
cool
3
people.
cool people are Tosis. Yeah. We're getting ready. Actually, we're ready.
I'm not ready.
Hold on. We're not ready. Wait. What about now?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, all right. Artosis is ready. Let's get this going. Scarlett versus INnoVation. The winner faces off against Rogue. The loser against Top. Anyways, guys, let's do this. Scarlett versus INnoVation, game 1 starts now.
전투 준비 완료. 퍼포먼스로 앞서가다 LG 울트라 기어와 넘버원 에너지 드링크 핫식스가
Here they are.
이번 전투를 지원한다고.
This hot 6s are going to merge into some kind of super hot 6. It's like that when all the Power Rangers come together.
스칼렛, 사샤 호스틴.
But made out of hot 6 cans.
That's right.
The only thing that can defeat them is a thirsty Tasteless.
We've got to turn them into, what is it called, swamp water? Is that what you said? Yeah.
카이지 게이밍, INnoVation, 20년.
Now that I'm thinking about that, I feel like I need to go back and watch all the old Godzilla movies. That whole storyline.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what the Power Rangers was, right? They all kind of come together, and then there's like a fight sequence when the...
It's like, I guess it's kind of related, but it's not actually Godzilla, right?
No, but the idea of like you're this giant thing walking over a city.
Yeah, it's like a form of shows in Japan, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Giant things fighting.
It's like a
over big
subgenre.
city.
Yeah. When it's just really 2 adults in rubber costumes hitting each other over miniatures.
Oh my God.
Hey, by the way,
That would be the greatest job.
have you seen these video clips of WWE going on with no audience?
No.
Yeah, because they can't
Is
have
that
public.
real?
It is weird to watch.
That would be so weird.
I mean, like, yeah, it's like an empty arena.
If that looks good, then their cameramen.
Oh,
need
we gotta look at it on break. It's like crazy because you know we don't have an audience here, and that already feels kind of weird. I'm used to like having.
What are you talking about? We haven't had an audience for StarCraft since 2011, Jesus.
I'm a Reddit gamer. That's what I am. But yeah, normally people are coming in and out. You know, it fills up. Sometimes to maximum capacity down here. And it is kind of weird casting, to no live audience and not getting to meet any of you guys in person for the time being. But man, watching WWE,
Yeah.
like it's the sounds. You don't realize how much the cheering and the noise kind of enhances the way it looks.
Tasus, I'm really disappointed that you're not telling me about this Reaper.
Yeah, well, this is the most important part of the game. Is it looks like it's going to get away again and not do anything. Talk about the game, Tasteless.
But yeah, I'm excited to see those looks, Tasteless. Thank you.
It's crazy. It just really goes to show you what, the optics of having an audience, but also just the sounds they create. Because you're just hearing kind of the weird wrestling, and the fake punch, and then the boom as they bounce on the mat.
You dare call it fake?
Sorry, it's real. Those are the people that really don't get it when they're like, it's fake, right? It's like,
oh, I like that creep jump.
yeah, that was cool. So, we were talking to Nil Rugrats before the matches here.
Yeah,
He
let's
said
not disclose the strategies though, just in case she ends up not using them.
Should we keep it a secret?
Yes,
Okay.
that's always important.
I'm trying to make up a fake strat and put it out there.
She's gonna make a hatchery in the base to make a drone.
She's going to do the queen
To
hatch
make a
rush.
nidus.
Yeah. To warp in a DT. Okay, here comes the two Hellions and the Reaper. Scarlett doing a decent job just defending everything on her side of the map. And we're going to have Banshees with Cloak here.
All right, I mean, everything pretty standard so far.
Right.
Just a little back and forth. Trying to get some creep out right now. Overlord going in and checking. Yep, Cloak's on the way. Never know if it actually finishes until a Cloak Banshee hits you. Double Evolution Chamber coming right up.
Yeah.
Good timing on that, I feel.
Setting up to get some upgrades for the later part of the game here. And we're going to have a third CC coming shortly here. So this little push is intended to do some damage, but really INnoVation is setting up to be in a much healthier macro game here. Here come those Hellions now down. Around the corner here, I think Scarlett should be able to hold this no problem.
Yeah, I don't see this actually getting in and doing damage. She's got her units placed very well at the moment. 1-1 starts for Scarlett, and we have the E-base starting up for INnoVation now. Nice pick off on the Queen.
That was pretty sick, bouncing the Queen up like that to stall it out so you could do some more damage to it.
Solid kill.
Scarlett's doing a really good job, though, with the creep spread. I got to point this out.
Yeah.
Despite these attacks coming in here, the creep spread's basically panning out in all different directions.
Oh, is she a bit out of position here? No. INnoVation not going to dive in.
Yeah.
Just poking the edges very, very well. And that's slowing the creep spread as well.
Yeah, I would say INnoVation, one of the players who's the least likely to ever dive in. Like, he wants to
dives
have...
sometimes.
But compared to other Terrans?
Yeah, no, there's some Terrans who...
They're just like, I don't know!
Yeah, they're just like, sometimes I get drones with this.
Okay, now the two Banshees have been pocketed in the upper right, and it looks like they're going to move out now. Now remember, two Banshees can one-shot a drone, so we got to see how ready Scarlett is, because if the Banshees get there and she's not in position, you just will lose several drones.
Yeah, that's quite true. Hydralisk Den on the way right now. So now we see what type of unit composition that Scarlett wants to go for. Look at this, the Banshee's bypassing everything, going to the natural.
Yeah, Scarlett with almost too many drones over here in this expansion.
Too many drones.
She's got, excuse me, INnoVation coming down now and going to hit more drones in the main. And this is definitely doing enough damage that the Banshees and the Cloak have, for the most part, pay for themselves.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're done quite doing damage just yet. In fact, I think they might even be able to go over this hatchery that's making right here.
Yeah, he's done quite a nice job with them so far. But I think Scarlett is still fine here, right?
Yeah.
She's still got a good creep spread. Baneling speed is on the way, and I can't see an attack hitting before that's done. So that's one of the hardest compositions to actually kill from Zerg, is when you're on Lingbane Hydra. That's like, you really, to actually end the game, takes quite some time as Terran. So it feels like this is going to be a nice long macro game. Both Banshees going down.
Okay, another push coming out here. By the way, Scarlett with actually really good creep spread, especially up here at the top, and just reaching out into the bottom left here. INnoVation, by the way, taking the third in a more forward position because you can both defend that while you're pushing. A little bit more easy.
A little bit late on the armory there from INnoVation, but he has 1-1, is starting to push. Baneling's a little bit late, actually, morphing on location, making it a little
really
bit more
nice
tough.
hit from behind here, taking out both the tanks in the back with those lings.
Oh my god.
Oh, actually, that tank is still alive here. Oh,
Yeah.
I think INnoVation like barely doesn't have enough. But for a second there, it was like,
Yeah,
is Scarlett going to get toppled here?
Well, it was a little bit scary because Scarlett didn't actually have Banelings ready at all and was actually morphing them right there. So no Banelings were actually used in that battle, despite the fact that Baneling speed finished during it. So definitely a very good attack from INnoVation there at first. It continues forward now.
Okay.
What a sharp attack.
Yeah, Scarlett having to back up here. It looked like she was going to hold this attack off, but now with INnoVation fiercely attacking up here, I think INnoVation may barely have enough. This is a really tough one to call right now. It looks like there's just barely enough Hydras here.
Oh.
The tank shot, every tank shot, softening up this these groups of Hydras.
Yeah,
Reinforcements about to come up here.
Oh my god.
She needs to get rid of this tank. She does get rid of the tank.
But there's another tank. There's more reinforcements coming up right now. Scarlett has lost a lot of units. I think INnoVation is actually gaining a big advantage right now.
Well, the medevacs, though, have no more energy, or at least those two didn't. There's two more now that do have some energy. It's like so close here. Both sides have just barely enough units. Reinforcements continuing to come across the map. Like Scarlett's army thinning out now. It's just one queen that's going to get shot down by those Marines.
Oh my god. Just barely. Scarlett unable to hold. Taking a lot of damage. She's sitting on just 65 drones. INnoVation's economy looking just perfect.
Hold up. Scarlett trying to push back now. It seems like there might just barely be enough with these Marines here. The tank's just positioned in the back. It's every tank volley that Scarlett's army begins to thin out a little bit more here. The medevac goes down, but two more inbound here with more energy.
She just barely can't get the critical mass to knock this out. Another tank goes down there, but Marines just consistently stimming across the map. This parade push from INnoVation doing work.
I'll tell you something, man. I think Scarlett barely holds.
Yeah, it looks like she does, but I think that this was such a good push from INnoVation.
INnoVation isn't done yet, though. He's going to keep rallying out. He's getting the fourth command center. Scarlett, well, she's in a defensive position here.
Yeah.
She's got her fourth base up for a while. She might take the very bottom center, like at 6 o'clock, for her next base. But if INnoVation doesn't break this hatchery, essentially the Zerg has survived whatever the Terran was trying to do.
Yeah.
It's all about this hatch over here.
Okay, yeah, I guess, but it feels like INnoVation gained a big advantage during all this, right? Like, so many units were knocked out. She hasn't hit the drone count that she actually wants.
Scarlett fighting off of creep now. And Hydras are significantly worse when they're not on creep.
Ooh, pulling those back. Scarlett having such a hard time keeping this together right now.
This is such an INnoVation game here. You know, just the way he's playing. He's so good at exactly this. There's a whole art form to Terran trying to push through a Zerg, taking out the creep tumors, holding your ground long enough with excellent micro to where the creep is completely dissipated, and then eventually pushing through and closing out with a win. Now,
she needs to wipe this out if she's going to have any chance this game, like really wipe it out.
This is actually the most important point in the game here because Terran has quite a heavy foothold here. The hatchery's very badly damaged.
Yeah.
Looks like still 2 tanks remaining, 1 very low on HP as INnoVation comes in here for the dive, and GG, INnoVation takes game 1.
That was such a good sharp push. He barely was breaking her the entire time. I wonder if her Baneling speed should have been a little bit quicker this game. She went into Hydra Tech before the Baneling
Well,
nest.
she also, I think, overextended a little bit off of the creep. There was this point where we saw Hydras attacking up a ramp on no creep.
Well, you want to clear it. If they get a foothold up there and siege more tanks,
but they already had a foothold up there was the problem.
Yeah.
We also had many moments where, you know, the fight was really close, but there was always 1 or 2 tanks in the background, and with every tank shot, it just incremented even further into a Terran-favored fight. Well, it's onto the map. Its name I can't say. Simulacrum?
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 We were calling it Simulacrum and got told.
We got told. Someone on Twitter was like, you guys.
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum. Is it a word? Does that mean something? I feel very
Well, it's
simulacrum. How is
her
that?
columns backwards.
전투 준비
is what
완료.
it is.
True. Well, let's try to simulacrum and go into game number 2.
스칼렛, 사샤 호스틴.
Scar.
카이지 게이밍, 이노베이션, 이신영.
Well.
All right. Wouldn't be a TVZ series in GSL without this.
Yeah.
Something win rate, something never lose, something.
So we're going to have some heavy pressure here coming from INnoVation. By the way, I really enjoyed that last game because of how close it was.
Yeah.
It was the opposite of the first best of 3 we had, where Rogue was just. It was like watching the series before this was like watching a naked person run around a tiger cage. You know, with like there's a tiger in there, and it's like, well, if you get close to it at all, you're dead.
Well, I mean, are you like good with tigers though? Are you like Tiger King? Or like, you know,
Tiger King. You haven't seen that yet, right?
Only the first episode so far.
Oh, then you haven't even seen anything yet. You got to get like about 3 episodes in, and you're like, this is the craziest thing that's ever come on TV. Hold up. We can talk about Tiger King in a second. But first, we have a bunker rush here. Scarlett's with a lot of drones being pulled here. Forces the bunker to cancel. The drones outpacing the Marines are going to be able to, I think, to pin them up against this wall here. INnoVation's control, though, is basically the best in the business with stuff like this.
6 drones falling already, but there is a spine that's going to be finishing up here. Queen is going to be popping out very shortly as well. And that should be enough to hold it.
Yeah, I mean, especially
6
with
drones
the spine.
is pretty legit, right?
Yeah, and factory on the way. Yeah, it definitely got some kills there.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will look at this and say, oh, you know, Terran failed. It's like, well, I mean, how many workers did Zerg actually lose here? So, as is par for the course in the meta, and I don't see this trend going away ever, if you have 2 barracks, you always scout, you know, when the rush is done, you scout with one of them, and then the other one you send back home.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure Zerg isn't doing anything too dramatic where you'd have to respond immediately. And the barracks ensures that if that is going to be the case, you see it and you can stop it. And if not, at least you know and you go into a more normal tempo game.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to float over. Of course, there's not going to be anything weird going on because you know the barracks is coming anyways. So, should pretty much normalize.
So
from here.
Tiger King, man, are you going to finish it? You need to finish it. There's so many jokes we can make, but you have to finish the series.
Yeah.
It's actually, this is for work orthosis. Guys, occasionally we have these conversations where we say you have to watch this thing because it could be brought up in the cast and it would be funny.
Yeah, but you still haven't watched the Avengers movie that I told you to watch. Like
Which one was I supposed to watch?
the main one with Thanos in it.
The last one?
Not the very last one, the second to last one. The very last one is the most steaming pile of garbage.
Oh, really? If you send it to me in text, I'll watch it. I'll throw it on the TV. I'll throw it on the old boob tube, Artosis.
That's what my dad calls TV.
That's the oldest term for TV is the boob tube.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well,
All right.
turn it on the
BC10.
boob tube, watch some e-games, you know.
Yeah. That's the way to do
Just
it.
your average day in quarantine. Okay,
So BC's coming up here for
Yeah.
INnoVation. Of course,
been-
expanding as well.
part of our whole theme today here. And I actually imagine we might have a similar situation here where it's going to be, can Scarlett actually hang on and endure? In this case, it's going to be the BC attacks. The last game was just a straight-up push. INnoVation doing a very ordinary approach to the matchup. By the way, Scarlett is unique as a player because she seems to be one of the players that doesn't have to play all the time, and she's still really, really good. Like, she'll take sometimes weeks off and then come back and be like in top shape.
Yeah.
She seems to know basically how to think about the game.
Yeah. I think she's one of the smarter players for sure.
Yeah, she just sort of gets how the game operates.
Yeah.
So it looks like the barracks is finally going to be taken out here.
Finally a victory for Scarlett.
Yes.
Taking down that scouting barracks. All right, so it looks like INnoVation saw kiwian's build and was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to one-up it.
Yeah.
I'm going to proxy a second barracks and do everything else exactly the same.
Well, I'll tell you something, man. That one barracks proxy did not make any sense to me at all.
I like
why
that
don't-
it was different.
Yeah.
Because if it's
Well, I
just
thought-
like 2 barracks
I thought, like,
mines-
okay, so what does he do now? And he makes the Reaper and it runs away, and I'm like, oh, this is just terrible. Okay. By the way, again, Scarlett with excellent creep spread here.
Yeah, that's looking really good. That BC getting ready to jump in, though.
Here we go. BC's out. And, you know, this has been pretty common over the last
Only
year and a
15
half.
lings out. Ooh, this might be bad.
Yeah, well, already so much damage is going to be done here. Now, the Battlecruiser, as long as you don't lose it to the Queens, you're always going to get value out of it. Like, you're going to kill something. Now, but all the Queens have been pulled away. And by the way, INnoVation going to dive on top of the Spinecrawler, immediately takes it out. Here come the Banelings, not doing enough. Still plenty of Hellions over here in the front.
A lot of Banelings actually do end up hitting there, though, so it looks like that will be pushed back. At the end of the day, how much damage really was that?
I thought it was going to do more from the Terran,
Yeah.
but I think Scarlett's actually basically fine.
Seems that way. Gets a couple creep tumors there. This Hellbat's going to get revenge for their friends on that queen.
Yeah. And the third base is going to be taken here. So this is also a very, it's pretty commonplace now in the meta, but it was pretty cool when it first came out, just the idea of using the battle cruisers to warp in and really pressure the Zerg.
Yeah. Take up to the latest tech unit right away to harass with.
Yeah, I mean, this is one thing we want to keep in mind for this group in general, is there's the possibility, for instance, we end up with only TVZs. So you need to, whether you're the Zerg or the Terran, to have like every possible style down.
Sure.
Because you can't start to do repeat builds too often, as everybody's sitting here watching each other.
Yeah. Kind of cool, by the way. Even though it was a BC opener into mech,
Yeah.
Scarlett is going into Spire. We'll see if that is for Corruptors or if that is for Mutas. I think it's going to be for Mutas here. Because if you go Corruptors, normally it'd be like a Roach Ravager Corruptor, and we don't see that tech.
Well, that got shut down so hard.
Yeah.
That only killed 3 drones. By the way, Scarlett's Spire is not that far away. Pre-spread looking very good. It doesn't seem like this is going to be a game that INnoVation's going to have an easy time pushing at all. Scarlett has really crushed everything that INnoVation's thrown at her thus far.
And the creep spread is so far out there at the moment. All right, it is actually going to be Corruptors. Scarlett has been vocal that she doesn't like Mutas against BCs into Mac.
Why is that? Do you know?
It just doesn't think it's good that the Mutas don't really get any value done. They're easy to block as Terran. Of course, we saw, you know, she's used it before and just didn't really like it.
Okay, here come the Yamatos. One-shotting the Queens.
Gonna hightail it out of there, though. Corruptors coming out soon. Those shouldn't do too much more damage here.
There's the CC now. 4th base. We want to watch and see if INnoVation can keep that and like control the game still. Because I don't see Scarlett counterattacking into the 3rd here for a while. It's going to be much more about the Zerg defending the pushes. And you know, if you can actually get a kill on the BC, it's huge. But you know, it's not. It's one of the easier things to do in the game is to micro BCs away so that you don't lose them. You know.
Yeah.
And then every time you go back, as we've seen in many games in the past, you have all your SCVs repaired and you send it right back out there.
Yeah, it looks like INnoVation going to be completely fine here. Really getting his stride going with the macro. Infestation Pit coming up. This is, I'm kind of interested in looking at this production tab for Scarlett, right? Because it's like all these different attack upgrades, which makes sense, obviously. Armor isn't that good against mech, generally speaking, because it does so much damage that these little +1 armor things, you know, you want that against lower damage output. But going into this Infestation Pit, like, is it possible we're going to end up seeing Swarm Host play here? Some people really like that against mech. A single Infestor goes down. Probably just for the fungal against BCs.
Sure, makes sense. If you can catch and kill those BCs, which is pretty hard to ever do, but if you can, just get rid of them. It's a lot less value Terran's going to get.
Absolutely.
By the way, we've seen fluctuations for how many BCs people get in and out.
Yeah,
it's been games where it's 1. It's been games where we've seen 3. And then occasionally we've had not as common, but games where people just keep making them.
Yeah, generally now, like it's been a while since I've seen anyone make more than 3 BCs. I feel like it's either 1 or 3 with Yamato.
What is the rationale for 3 and not 4 or 2? Is it like you need to invest your money into something else to have a better push, or?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like the sweet spot, right? You get 3 Yamatos off and like run away. I don't think it's anything necessarily about critical mass. It's just like it works out and the build's better.
Okay, well, 1 BC is going to go down, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
Putting that number down to 2. And we're going to have a Nidus network here.
Okay.
So, Scarlett, now, where can she get vision here? I don't see...
Well, she has this cool unit called the Overlord, so anywhere.
The Waterlord?
The Overlord.
But where does she want to try to come in? Is this going to be one in the main? Is it going to possibly be set up, you know, adjacent to one of the exterior bases here?
Yeah, I think that's it, right? Like, I think you just want to throw it up all over the place and just pop out your Locust to hit the edges. All right, a little battle mech composition running around right now, clearing a little bit of creep. Of course, the Infestors can help against that amazingly.
Right, but good range play there from INnoVation, just staying far back enough.
All right, there's the first Nidus going down. INnoVation trying to keep some pressure on. Ooh, very nice run by of a couple Hellions here. Look at that, 10 drones, 13 drones.
Okay, slowly pushing him away. Now here comes the Swarm host coming out right now. We're not going to get a shot of that for the time being.
Oh no, actually.
Wait, what is happening here?
Yeah, there was 1 Marine there, so when she launched, she hadn't told them where to go, so they just jumped onto that Marine.
Oh, I see.
So really not that much damage.
You need to have all your Locusts coming out at the same time or it doesn't work. By the way, these battlecruisers are so low, it's killing me.
Yeah, it's killing Scarlett as well.
The Corruptors are going to come down. Can the battlecruisers jump out?
Look at this. Catching the Corruptors, are you kidding me?
Man, oh, that's so much damage.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That was crazy. That was
way more than I even
move.
thought that INnoVation was going to get. That's insane.
Seriously.
And things are beginning to fall apart here for Scarlett, I think. I mean,
INnoVation is playing a beautiful
INnoVation is bringing, you know, next level Terran here.
Yeah.
And Scarlett is just getting smashed over and over, and Terran has basically outgrown the Zerg, which is one of the worst things you can see from a Zerg perspective in a ZVT.
Yeah, look at this, all over the place with this battle mech composition. Going after hatcheries at this point, just picking off absolutely everything. The Swarm hosts really haven't gotten much value, but Scarlett's still in it, okay? Like, even though we see a lot of things going INnoVation's way, it's not over, right? Like, we have pathogen glands finishing up. We have Hive Tech. We have more Infestors being made. She still has 85 drones. So even though it's not perfect, sometimes you're going to get into a reasonable composition where you can start shutting some of this down, gaining some value back.
Yeah. Now, that being said, we're going to have to see some major wins here from Scarlett.
Yeah.
If she's going to get back into this game, because right now INnoVation is taking such an incredible lead. The fact that INnoVation has poked out bases both in the upper right and the bottom left, and the Niduses are not really doing anything. You know, one thing about the Nidus play, I like the idea, but it doesn't seem like there's anywhere to actually successfully hide a Nidus. You're almost just trying to set it up there and hope that things are going so quickly that Terran can't catch it in time, you know?
Yeah, kind of. By the way, look at this SCV count, 91. It's rare you see this many SCVs.
Yeah,
that is a pretty intense economy.
This is like the highest number of SCVs you could really ever want. And eventually, you're going to need to get rid of some of these SCVs here.
Absolutely.
You need to actually get a bigger supply in Army. Uh-oh, it looks like for a moment there, INnoVation not watching. Scarlett able to do damage in multiple different locations.
Yeah, picks off all those Locusts, so no real damage done yet. You know, I don't think INnoVation really cares, especially when he's sitting on 92 SCVs, about losing a few Hellions and Cyclones. But Scarlett's composition is getting better. Like, right? You look at that, you throw down a Fungal, let some Banes roll in, throw down a couple Corrosive Biles, suddenly you're clearing out some of these squads. So I could see INnoVation starting to change his unit comp. We did see a couple more starports going up as well. So I think he is starting to think about what he wants to do later in the game.
Weird.
95 SCVs now. God, he just keeps going.
So, you know, this base in the bottom left is going to be very hard for INnoVation to hold. But for now, it's going to be the Scrub to try to stop some of these pushes. Now, with this many SCVs out, it does mean that Terran does not quite have as big of an army. But can we see Scarlett begin to fight back? A lot of times when Zergs win in these super late games, it's because the Terran has used up all the expansions that are in, generally speaking, the quadrant of the map that Terran starts in.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that quadrant area, if you were to split the map up into 4 parts, it's really hard for Terran to hold it for too long. That's where the Zerg can usually lash out and poke out some of those bases here.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, the same thing oftentimes happens to the Zerg, right? The Zerg is on these edge bases that are more pushable for Terran. So specifically if we have situations where it's diagonal spawns, then it's both sides trying to fight or defend the upper right and the lower left in the case of this map.
Oh, look at this. INnoVation absolutely everywhere right now. Picking off this hatchery. Scarlett used pretty much everything she had down here and barely hasn't cleared this army yet. Looks like some more biles going to hit the BCs. One BC still left over with 28 kills. Oh my God.
Corruptor versus BC, who's going to win?
The BC. Oh, the BC died.
Did it?
I think it got hit by a bile. All right, Mass Liberator's coming out right now.
Whoa. Huge amount of control over this area right here. That's it. INnoVation takes it. Bigger, faster, stronger. There was just not much that Scarlett could do back there. She looked good, but INnoVation looked better.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Not as big a mismatch as the first series of the night. And, you know, the thing is, he just barely broke her in the first game, and then the second one, yeah, I feel like he just had the edge in every situation.
Yeah, it was like all of her stats were 9s and his stats were 11s. You know, there wasn't one moment that I can point to where I think Scarlett made a big mistake. I think really it was just, you know, wow, INnoVation's actually that good right now.
Yeah, he's in great shape and goes on to fight Rogue, so that is quite a match we get next.
I'm excited. That's going to be crazy. Yeah, winners match is next, and then I don't know. I think Scarlett can take top. We'll have to see, though.
Yes.
We are going to have a short break. When we come back, our third best of 3. Don't go away.